Hi, I'm Alicia, and today we're going to talk a little bit about effective group communication. We'll also discuss some challenges to effective group communication within higher education and how to respond to the conflict that arises around these challenges using effective de-escalation techniques. So what are some good practices if you're in a group for communication? The first is that the entire group should create a shared goal. This shared goal will drive all of your communication because effective communication will advance the goal and ineffective communication will not. For example, a faculty curriculum team could create a goal to set the curriculum for a new degree program. Any communication that works toward that goal is probably effective. That doesn't, probably an ineffective practice. A university care team might create a goal to set interventions for students of concern. Therefore, all their communication should advance that goal. A second effective practice is to manage the size of the group and to make sure that small group opportunities are involved. Smaller groups are more attractive than larger groups, so these opportunities should be prioritized. Even if you're assigned to a group of about 20 people, find ways to have small group discussion and a single person from each small group report to the larger group. Or find ways to engage people in smaller numbers before and after gatherings of your team. This will help put you all at ease. A third effective practice is to demonstrate interpersonal care for the other members of your team. People are more attracted to groups that care about them as humans instead of just as group members, and there are several effective ways to do that. One way is to ask questions of the people around you. Ask them about things even beyond the scope of your collaborative project. Maybe ask about their family or other work they do within your organization. These questions can help maintain the difficult balance between working effectively toward your group's goal while also demonstrating interpersonal care for your other team members. A fourth effective practice is to create an established pattern for communication and to stick to those guidelines that you as a team create. Will your team communicate via email, group text, Google Doc, GroupMe, or any other of the plethora of communication methods out there? Find one that works for your team and stick with it. Encourage all members to use that communication method and make sure that you engage your behavior in that way too. These practices sound ideal, but there's a lot of challenges that make them hard to implement, especially within the realm of higher education. Higher education includes complex networks of stakeholders that are so difficult to navigate and present numerous challenges for communicators. For example, the faculty committee referenced earlier that's setting the curriculum for a new program might include faculty members, but it's also influenced by administrators eager to get something new into the university. It's influenced by the prospective students who will fill the seats in those classes, and it's influenced by the staff members who will market the new degree to those prospective students. Even if their voices aren't active, their voices influence how the stakeholders will respond to the group's collaboration in higher education, which is a huge challenge for the committee. Another challenge is that your team members might rely on different modes of communication, or they might prefer different modes of communication. Back to that idea of email, group text, Google Doc. Different faculty members in that committee would have different preferences, and honoring those preferences and the people behind them presents a challenge. A third challenge to effective communication in higher education is geography. Many faculty members on this committee might be split up in different academic buildings across campus, and especially the different stakeholders are spread out. These are further isolated from students who are operating in classrooms or living in campus housing or occupying other campus spaces. Communicating across physical space is another unique challenge of higher education that might not be present in an institution or an organization that all exists within one building. These challenges can often create conflict, even when effective communication practices are going to be practiced. So how should people respond to conflict in a way that offers de-escalation? The first one is to manage the goals. Consistently go back to the goals that you created at the start and prioritize those. Remind each other why you're there and why you're in this together. A second way to de-escalate conflict is to manage the shared information. Use owned messages to own your feelings and your actions rather than blame someone else. Maybe you even need to share information by pausing and refraining from making a decision until the conflict has been de-escalated. If you can find ways to manage the conflicts that arise within your group despite the challenges of higher education and commit to practicing effective communication, you're likely to succeed with your community group.